Hello, hello. My name is Joe.
And I'm Jordan.
And this is Double Trouble Features.
Double T.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. The weekly-ish podcast where we talk about all things movies, television, pop culture, and just what's on these damn screens. How are you doing, Jordan?
I'm doing fine. Guys, it's been a busy 2 months, if we're being honest.
Q4 hit hard.
Yeah, no. So sorry, guys, about, the pacing of our episodes. But talked it over. We got our schedule straight. Everything's nice. So again, we're going to keep going on that weekly trend, okay? Coming back strong, all right? We never went anywhere, though.
No, life is hard for 30-something person,
Yeah,
and you're
I ain't
almost 30
yeah.
yet.
I'm sorry that you're old.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It hits you like a fucking train, man.
How's your back?
I mean, it's not less my back and more like my feet and my
Bro,
ankles.
my feet hurt all the time.
And I'm not 30, okay?
Yeah, no, when we were playing kickball,
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I've stood for like 3-4 hours.
And I was just in New York for work, and I did the math. I walked 18 miles in like 3 days, and bitch,
That's the most you probably ever walked.
in a while.
Yeah.
The bitch, my feet hurt. And then I had the kickball tournament, and I was just like, I need something.
Yeah, I think what really happens is like when you know you're not a child anymore is when you're like, I don't really care how stylish my shoes are. They just need to be comfortable as hell.
I still wore comfortable shoes, and it still hurt like a bitch.
Yeah, 100%.
It's... Guys, life is hard.
Yeah, no.
And that's why we dive into movies and television to escape it.
Yeah, so let's get to it. So, Joe, I want to tell you about a show or a movie that had a trilogy. It's a 3-movie, and I'm shocked we got 3 movies.
And I'm shocked as well.
I'm shocked we got 3 movies, but I'm okay with it. And if you don't know, I'm talking about Venom. Venom Last Dance. When I tell you, I was satisfied. Spoiler, it's The Last Dance, or supposedly, especially if you see the end credit and stuff. But it's exactly what you expect.
Okay.
Like,
so what I expect is just ridiculous...
Yep.
Nonstop, kind of funny, kind of action, but, never taking itself too seriously.
And to be honest, those were the worst parts of the movie because you always got to have like, oh, this is the reasoning and all this other stuff. And we got to explain the science and what are the scientists doing. To be honest, the plot really doesn't make that much sense.
Are they still trying to use the symbiotes as a weapon? Is that still
So the premise of the movie is that there's this king of symbiotes or symbiotes.
Symbiotes?
Yes. Hard word to say for somebody illiterate like me. But there's a king out there, and it took all the symbiotes to defeat him and to lock him up. That's outside the universe.
Okay.
And so he is now kind of a little awakened, but he can't get out of this chamber. So the only thing to help him is he needs this this code, this like ball that you only get when a symbiote and a person merge and then die, and then they merge again. To live again because they fully merged. So like Venom and Eddie Brock are fully merged together since Eddie Brock died in the first one? I think it was the first movie.
Did he die?
Yeah, remember he got stabbed? No, I think it was the second movie.
Okay.
He got stabbed.
Okay.
And so technically he died.
I'm not going to lie. I only saw that. Maybe I need to go back and watch the second one.
Yeah, no. So yeah, he dies. But then Venom and him actually combined.
Okay.
And then
I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. So they become one at this point. And so the bad guy, who you don't see in the movie at all, probably
the
10
king
seconds.
of the symbiotes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one they've been hyping in the new trailers. Whatever you see in the trailer is what you see in the movie. which I hate. I hate when you promote somebody and they're not even really in the movie.
To be honest, I'm not going to lie. The only thing I really remember about the trailer is the horse scene.
You do get the horse, and we're here for the horse. I'm here for just stupid shit like that.
No, I kind of want to see more of it. Like, I feel like that's what we need to be leaning into is the silly side of comics. Because I think we've taken it so seriously up until this point that there's just like not really. And I say this as we're about to talk about one of the most earnest comic book adaptations.
But here's the thing though, there is a line.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy was the first one that like brought in like comedy into like these movies. And then Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, that's when it started.
That's when I'm just like, all right, like what are we doing?
I liked Thor, Love and Thunder.
Fuck no.
A lot of people did not. I liked it.
Like it's okay, but it's like
I thought it was better than
Thor 1 and 2. It is better than Thor 1 and 2.
Well, yeah, and then I think I'm thinking of Ragnarok.
Ragnarok's really good.
I think that's what I'm thinking of. That's the third one.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of Ragnarok.
You're like, wrong movie, sorry.
And I was like, well, it's better than the fourth one. And I was like, wait, I think the fourth one is Love and Thunder. I mean, I still liked Love and Thunder more than I liked the first two.
Yeah, because those were dull as shit.
Well, because they took it so seriously.
Yes, no.
And they're comic book movies. But then again, you have like, and I think you make a good point. It's like, it's up to a point because people feel that way about Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin, that he got so silly for silly sake. I don't agree with those people. I still stand by that movie.
Batman and Robin all day.
Poison Ivy and I think Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. I think they're what they. But
we haven't had a Poison Ivy like adaptation in forever since that movie.
No, they had like the little girl one in Gotham, and that was bullshit.
Yeah, no, I need Poison Ivy. But we'll get into that entire those villains later. But so this movie, I didn't know Tom Hardy also is Venom. Did not know that.
Like the voice?
The voice, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. Does a fantastic job. Again, that bickering between those two. Funny.
I still hold myself like accountable for their relationship because that is exactly what I told a Sony producer when I saw a test screening of it out in LA. I was like, he was like, how do you feel about the romance? And I was like, nobody gives a fuck about the romance. Nope. I don't know. Like people going to these movies, like if there's a nice little B plot, sure. Or if it's a main point of the thing. But if you're just
like Spider-Man.
Yeah. With Mary Jane and like, or Gwen Stacy, like if it like makes sense in the movie, but like if you're just like throwing this like love interest in there to kind of like add more tension to
that, we know this love interest is not going to survive past this movie. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a Venom 2. The love interest is still there.
I think
or
she
Venom
did
3.
though, didn't she? Because she became Lady Venom or whatever.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't even
definitely
know.
Not in this movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely not in this movie. It's an alright movie.
It's all right.
It's exactly what you expect. I thought the slow parts were really slow.
Okay.
Like, I'll give it that. Like, the slow parts, I'm just like... And then, like, you have the doctor who you get her entire backstory, which you did not need to know. Did not need to know.
I feel like it's because... I feel like studios really don't know what to do because they're trying to make everyone happy.
You can't.
And they're trying to make... Exactly. You can't. So you need to pick and choose where they are because I think all the gripes I'm hearing right now is that, like... the movie's not flowing together well. It's like, oh, now we need a 10-minute backstory into this doctor because, and why are they doing that? Probably because this nerds are like, well, who is she and why is she here all of a sudden? So we have to backstory.
I just need a random doctor. Cool. Awesome. That's all I really care about you.
Honestly, the reason that movies are getting worse is because you all keep complaining so much.
Also true. Some deserve to be.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, some deserve, but
especially Sony.
Martin Scorsese gave Folie à Deux a 2 thumbs up. So like, it really is in the eye of the beholder. I just read that on Hollywood Reporter.
Terrible movie.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese in your old age are picking weird shit.
Yes, no. But I'll give this movie a 5. The last third, great. Perfect. Exactly what I needed. Wish I got the last third of how the movie ends for the entire front half. I thought in the front half I will get at least, because a lot of these movies you get action at the front, then it kind of slows. Then you get like one or two good action scene. Then you get a bunch of action at the back end. This one was like, we're building up, quick little action, building up, quick little action. Wait. Now we're just all going full. And I'm just like, I need it way more. And I think that's the problem with Sony. Like, Sony has not figured it out. I just read today that after this movie, they're trying to do a Sinister Six movie.
Which is insane.
That is so terrible.
There's no way Dakota Johnson's coming back for this shit. I guess if the money's right.
Madam Web, terrible movie. Funny as hell, though. Morbius, terrible movie. Venom as a whole.
All right. Like, I think Venom.
It's funny.
I think
if you take comedy out, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, fair.
Craven.
We'll see.
It's going to be bad. Like, I already know it.
But is he
looks hot?
But
though.
is he hot enough to like
he
make
does
up
look
for
hot.
it though? So like that's the thing is like
Yes.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. You're about to awaken a whole new, fresh set of gays, and that is a big responsibility.
Just some nerdy gays.
Just some nerdy gays, or well, not even nerdy. That's like a very, I don't know. I feel like action movies. Like, there's gonna be some poor boy just sitting there and just like, oh no, and then he has to put the popcorn over.
Oh no, bro, boner alert, boner.
Don't you hate when you get boners in the movie theaters? I know I do.
Yeah, 5 out of if you've seen the other two, definitely go see this. Like, you're not going to be disappointed when you see it. 5 is this is just a very average movie. Like, if you haven't seen the other two, there's no at all reason to catch up to watch this movie. No, not at all. But yeah, no, decent movie. So Joe, I've heard that you've been caught with a substance.
Yes.
In your car.
I am planning it on injecting it tonight and becoming the best version of myself I can be.
No, Joe. Right now, you're the best version of yourself.
Yeah, but the substance could help, and the substance is steroids. No.
You're taking steroids.
I've been
Joe's getting fit.
Yeah, that's what it is.
He wants to get yoked for Christmas.
I just can't wait for my testicles to hurt and so much back knee that everyone's grossed out. But I'll be muscly. No, I recently went and watched The Substance. It's still Halloween. It's not Halloween yet. I'm still on my horror kick. I'm always on my horror kick, but it's been really bad recently. Like, here's the thing. I'm talking about The Substance. There's like 5 more movies I could talk about right now.
I know.
But I wanted to talk about this one because it really is just such a good film, and I don't use that like word, like I don't know how to explain it other than the story. So what this movie is about, it is about this former actress, Elizabeth Sparkle. She's an Oscar-winning actress. She has her name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She's very famous, but she's very far past her prime.
Yeah.
And it's played by Demi Moore, and you could tell that Demi Moore is just like eating this role up because it's just exactly how she feels. And that's the interesting thing about it is like Demi Moore, for her age, is still hot. Like, she's still got her thing going on. She's still a beautiful, gorgeous woman, but she's not the young thing she used to be. And that is the role that she plays in this. So she's alone. All she has is her career. That's what she has going for her right now. She is like on a weekly, like morning, like workout thing, kind of a la Jane Fonda.
You know what she should do? She should start a podcast like everybody else.
That is what she should have done. But what she ends up doing instead is she meets this man. It's very like random. He's a nurse, and he's like, we think that you'd be a really good candidate for this program, which is The Substance. So she ends up like finding this phone number. She's doing all these things. She finds out that they're trying to replace her. The head executive, who's played by, I'm pretty sure it's Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid, who's like that he's like crazy MAGA right now, and he plays just the most disgusting, awful man. And the shots and the cinematography on this movie are so visceral. Just like, even like you see him just eating shrimp and the camera is right there and he's picking them clean and
you can't eat shrimp clean,
and he's just at this like thing, and she's just sitting there watching him. And I know every woman and every person has just watched and listened to an idiot talking, and that's who this man is. He's in charge, and so everyone has to listen to him, and he's just this son of a bitch that makes everyone's life harder, and he just says the worst things possible the whole time. I have like 3 people in my mind in my life who I'm directly like...
I'm thinking of you. So
do what?
I'm thinking of you.
Yeah, so it's me. I'm the one making women's lives harder in media.
Facts.
But
they want a good man, and you won't be there for them.
Exactly. So now he's looking to replace her, and she's fucking pissed. So she ends up this, that, and the other. Ends up going to the hospital, meeting this nurse. This nurse, who's a very young, attractive man, is like, I have something that could help out. She goes home. She's like, no, I'm not going to call this number. That's super weird. Blah, 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 blah. Ends up having a full fucking mental breakdown. Calls the number. Does all that. She ends up going to this abandoned alleyway where they like let her in through a door, and she never sees anyone. She never talks to anyone. It's just like, here is your number, here is your card. They mail her the card. She goes in with it. She beeps it in, and it just has everything that she could possibly want in this little box. So she takes it up to her apartment, and she's sitting there, and it's this green little goo, and they're like, what this is it'll make you the best version of you.
Would you take it?
So what that means, watching this movie, fuck no.
Right, before you get to the point.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know.
Hell yeah. So if you don't want to know any further into this, this is like really?
No, really. I really don't. Because I want to watch the movie.
Okay, well, I have to give a little more just because just because it is so gross what happens. I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain like what is good about this movie without explaining like really the logistics of it. Because what makes good horror and what makes good scary tension is the rules of it. You know what I mean? Like whatever, don't feed the mogwais after midnight, those kinds of things.
Then you fucking do
and
it.
Then you fucking do.
You fucking idiots.
And so this is so that plays a lot into this movie, is making sure that you understand the rules and you keep the rules. But it also has to deal a lot with like yourself and who you are as a person, and what you think the best version of yourself actually is, and how trying to constantly achieve that can turn you into a fucking monster.
Facts.
And turn you into something, which I was talking about steroids earlier, turn you into this beast that you don't even recognize anymore. And taking these kinds of substances, even talking about injections and fillers. We're just now finding out that apparently filler doesn't dissolve over time. We thought it did. It just doesn't. It just settles in the rest of your face. So then you get more. And then that settles into the rest of your face. And that's why all of these people have these puffy ass faces, because they've been getting filler for years, and now it's too far gone and their faces are full of silicone. It talks a lot about those kinds of problems we're seeing about physical appearance and how much weight and how much stock we put into it.
I feel like there's been a couple movies out just talking about like, you know, what beauty is, and like how people always are trying to change their bodies and stuff like that. And like, I just think you do you. You're beautiful. And you're beautiful. We're all beautiful.
And there's no easy fix. The easy way is never the best way out.
Oh.
It's never sustainable, or it harms you. And in this case, it harms the fuck out of you.
Unless it's that other movie on Netflix that you watched, The Uglies. Unless it's Uglies, I'm so down for that stuff.
Oh, but then you're just dumb and pretty, and that's different.
And that's
these
bliss.
people. This is you having your own brain and dealing with all of this and going back and forth. And
don't want to use my brain.
And that's the thing, is like, I'm trying not to say around it. I'm trying to like speak around it, but there's a part of this movie where like she has to like actively confront herself. And that is fucking hard and horrifying and something that she has to do. And like, it's a fight to the fucking death.
No, I actually love like my favorite horror movies are horror movies that like actually have like real story that are not just, hey, monster or hey, run away, like jump scares, but like actually have a story and actually have like a real plot. And so like this makes me very interested in actually watching
and
it.
I saw it in the theater, and I just cannot begin to explain how much storytelling that the way the shots are, the way it's portrayed.
Cinematography is like it's very top tier and when it comes to a horror movie.
It's so good, and like just the color and whoever, like the people who worked on this movie, there's a reason that they are talking about how it's one of the best horror movies of the year and one of the best horror movies in a long time. I would say a good 7 or 8. I would say like a 7.5. I would watch it again right now if it was on something. Like,
best horror movie you've seen this year?
That's really hard because, you know, I'm just so like, I would say, yeah, probably. I would say, yeah. I do think it is the highest brow and achieves the most message in all of that. And it's a body horror film, which if you don't know anything about body horror, like it's a different kind of horror. It's a different kind of,
makes me want to vomit.
It's not spooky. It's not scary. Parts of this movie will make you want to, I just, the last 30 minutes of this fucking movie will make you want to jump off a fucking bridge. I'm not fucking kidding. It's so gross.
I'm glad you're here.
So good. I love it so much. I've jumped off a bridge before and lived. It's fine. It's not that hard.
White people shit.
It was on a church float trip too. They were telling us to do it.
Oh my God.
Forgot.
All right. So speaking of horror, actually really like, okay, so I've been waiting to watch Agatha, and I'm solely going to watch it based on your review and your opinion.
Okay.
Because again, I loved WandaVision. WandaVision is fantastic. I would say best TV show for Disney, for the Marvel Universe, best TV show. And I really enjoyed it. I love all the actresses that are in it. I've just seen mixed reviews, but I understand where some of those very bad ones are coming from. So I know you shoot me straight. Tell me about Agatha, man.
Okay, so Agatha All Along, it's fucking fantastic.
There we go.
It's just so good. So, and what makes it good is that it takes the best parts of WandaVision, but still is its own show. And what I mean by that is it still kind of takes some of the gimmicky part of, you know, going from TV show to TV show. So what Agatha All Along is about, obviously, Agatha Harkness has been trapped in the curse of the Scarlet Witch for a while, and this teen shows up and breaks her out of the spell. The people of this town have just been like letting her be crazy by herself this whole fucking time. And so she realizes this. She's like, you just let me be talking nonsense to you, because she's still in the curse. She's still in the hex. Yeah. So she's still living out TV shows at the beginning of this. And it's fucking hilarious, and just how it goes about. But then what we really get into, that's like the first episode, and she breaks out of the curse. But then what we really get into is teen needs to go on the witch's road, and Agatha is the only person who has been on the witch's road. But they need a full coven of witches in order to even access the witch's road. If you know anything about Agatha, which this is hit point blank pretty hard within this show, is that she does not work well with others. She is a villain for all intents and purposes. But she's very complex, and she's a very interesting character. So we have Aubrey Plaza show up as Rio.
And I've heard that she's fantastic.
I want more of her. My biggest gripe with this entire show is that there isn't more of each actress. And that's a fucking gripe to have for anything.
Yeah.
So Rio shows up, obviously has history with Agatha. They need different kinds of witches. And so she has to get people who all have certain abilities, because on the Witch's Road you have these tests, and these tests take the form of whoever's on the road and all this stuff. So it still keeps playing into like the TV show tropes. Like they go into one of the tests, they're like in like an old school coastal grandmother's house, and it's very like Real Housewives, and they have to like drink a wine and like that kind of thing, and like it's part of the gag. And then another one, they're in like an 80s slasher movie, that's another test. So it keeps the same like energy and idea of everything, and it's all magic and it's fun, but it doesn't really feel like a Marvel entity per se.
Feels like its own thing.
It feels like it's its own thing, which is really nice, but it still feels connected because they do bring up Wanda and all that stuff. And at one point somebody asked, like, is Wanda Maximoff still alive? And she goes, or is she dead? And she went, yes, no, maybe, who knows? And you're just like, oh, just bring her back. And that's how I feel about that. But
she says she'll play it. She says she'll do it.
It does feel like it's starting to gear up, and there has been a lot of, on my side of Twitter and on my side of everything, is just the gays love it. The gays are gagged for it. Agatha all along is just like one of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's very good. It's lighthearted, but there's some very heavy moments in it. And then it does get into these characters. And, you know, you have Patti LuPone, Shashir Zamata, you have fucking Aubrey Plaza, and then you have, of course, the kid from Heartstopper, who really like kind of serves as the heart, and he has a fun little secret that I'm not going to spoil right here, but you probably already know because it was very fucking obvious from the start. It's just interesting to see, and then it's also interesting to see how he is there and who he really is and what that means and how he feels about it, because he feels some kind of fucking way about it. And it's just good storytelling. It's good. There's some pretty good action in there. It's all witches. It's all spooky. It's all creepy.
Perfect for this time.
It's perfect
for this time.
They planned it so well because what is today? Tomorrow is Wednesday. God. The finale's tomorrow. The last 2 episodes drop, and I am so excited because
how many episodes is there right now?
9.
9.
So out right now. 7. There's 7 out right now, I think.
So there's going to be 9 episodes.
Yes.
How long are they?
They kind of like split.
Like 45.
Yeah. Well, they kind of like it's Disney, so like the important episodes are 45, and the less important episodes are like 27.
Yeah.
So that part is annoying. I wish you all would get some fucking consistency and just create either 30-minute or hour length episodes. Like, I don't understand why we're still playing around with it, but I will say that it is one of the better forms of thing. And what's interesting is like there's different parts of it that's like time slipping is a part of it, and you see a character doing that and having issues with that, but she's a clairvoyant, and so how that works with her and like how, because she can see into the future and into the past, but she starts time slipping because of it.
So where would you rank this in the Marvel TV shows?
I don't know if it's cool.
You got Loki.
And here's the thing. Like, for Loki, did you like the end of season 2?
It was fine.
I think it's kind of on par with like Loki season 2. It's not as exciting. I think it's a really good follow-up to WandaVision. Okay. And I'm hoping it feels like it's setting up for...
That's worth a watch. That's definitely worth a watch. Yeah. What would you rate it?
I would rate it a good... I would say 6, 7, like in between there. It's not going to be world changing. It's not going to alter your perceptions of everything, but it's just a really fun Marvel property still playing within the Scarlet Witch storylines.
Yeah.
And if you like those, then you will like this.
Okay.
If you watched, what was it? Multiverse of Madness for Wanda, you will like this show.
Got it. Okay. No, I'm
Which
you answered my question.
One more thing. Everyone seems to forget. In that movie, Multiverse of Madness, the Darkhold turned her evil. Like, people seem to forget that. And I just want to bring that up real quick because they're like, she just turned all of a sudden without no...
Yeah, but
and
like,
it's like,
it was...
No, they told you.
No, they told us. But it was like, and all right.
And so with this show, it makes that movie even more fucked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of like... When you realize, like, I can't say it without giving away spoilers, but like when you realize certain things about certain people and how it lined up within the timeline, because there is an episode where it like goes back and explains explains like really where this is and answers those questions. It's even more fucked up.
Okay, so now it's even worth a watch just so it explains a little bit more.
Exactly.
Why. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, bet. I got like a couple of hour car ride, this weekend, next weekend. Bet.
Oh yeah, you'll cut through them quick.
Yeah, definitely watching it. All right, so again, this is actually a short episode, which I'm kind of proud of. But I really kind of want to dive into this show. I've been excited ever since it was announced, and that's the Penguin. First, what did you think about the Batman with Robert Pattinson?
I liked it. I thought it was good. I didn't understand the necessity for it, but now I do.
It is. So I actually loved the Batman. A little too long.
Yeah.
It's a fucking long ass movie. It's 3 hours
and
long.
By I didn't understand the necessity of it, I meant either I want 10 of them or none of them.
Yes, it's an awkward position because Batman 2's coming out. But then after that, James Gunn is then going to have The Brave and the Bold with, a different Batman.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I think they should just... Guys, can we just all agree that Robert Pattinson should be in the DCEU?
I am so happy, Robert. But the thing is, he can't have a kid right now. He's only year 2 of being Batman. So
he can't have a kid right now?
No, he's got to fuck not Ra's al Ghul, but her daughter. Talia al Ghul. To make Damian. That's how Damian gets.
Can we just pretend that the Dark Knight series happened and now we're just starting?
We could always do that.
That's always I'm we gotta stop starting over.
Yeah, we keep starting over. It's bad. But I actually love that movie because it got back to what Batman was, which was a detective. And every single time, I love because it's a thriller, but still actiony and still everything like that. But I do think one of the standout characters from that was Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Absolutely.
I thought he was funny, charming. I thought still evil, but just a dirtbag scumbag. And when they said, "Hey, we're going to do a TV show about the Penguin," I was so gassed because I've never seen him as a grunt. You in all the animated and all the other shit, you always see him at the top and everything like that. And so now we're going to see him on the come up,
which is so funny because I'm guessing did you ever watch Gotham?
No, the TV show. No, I never watched it.
It's interesting seeing just the stark difference between because the show did show
the come
up of the Penguin, but it's so different in a good way.
I'm not a CW.
That's I meant Penguin in a good the Penguin. In a good way.
Yeah, I just never was a CW DC guy.
It was Gotham
the
was
Arrowverse.
Fun. I didn't get.
Flash,
I tried to do the Arrowverse. It just I'm sorry. I don't find the Green Arrow interesting or whatever it is. It's just not.
That's his name. You got the right name.
Okay. Yeah. I was is that because I had to think. I was but no, I was never a big one, but I did like CW, but I think that was on Fox.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I'm pretty sure Gotham was on Fox because it's on.
It's on Hulu?
No, it's on. I'm pretty sure I saw it on HBO Max, which is even more confusing.
Yeah, CW. Okay. They're owned by
Warner Brothers. But and Warner's Discovery anyway.
Yeah, Warner Discovery. Yeah. Let's get it right. But
Jesus
anyway.
Christ.
So the Penguin came out. If you don't know, it's on Max. Comes on every Sunday. They're only doing, I think, 8 episodes.
Yeah.
And so right now, currently, as when this premieres, it'll be 7 episodes. Binge it. Like that's
immediately.
Like there is nothing, like, to be honest, I don't really have anything bad about this show.
The mom scenes go a little too long for me, but that's my only gripe.
I
said just a little.
I kind of agree with you. But I do like the touch of the mom.
Yes.
Pause.
This ain't Game of Thrones. This ain't House of the Dragon.
But yeah, if you don't know what the Penguin is, so do you need to see the Batman? No, you don't need to see the Batman at all. In this show, or at least where we're at, the Batman is not at all in this show at all.
It's not a part of it.
Yeah, no.
And I kind of like that.
And so, like, when you said that about Agatha, where it's just like, this does not feel like, in the Marvel universe, but still a part of it, I kind of felt the same way about this, where I felt like this isn't Batman. Like, I don't feel like this is Batman. This is a Sopranos almost. Just happened to be in Gotham City.
And it's interesting because it is. Sometimes you forget that this is based off of a comic, because then they'll be like, it'll just like randomly be like, and then Gotham, and you're like, oh yeah, we're in fucking Gotham.
Yeah, like this is not New York City right now.
Or like the drugs, it's like the Bliss drug, and you're like, we couldn't have come. Like I'm like, just call it shrooms. Like God.
Yes. No, but so you do not need to see the Batman to watch this. Highly recommend to watch it though. I give the Batman like a solid 9, to be honest.
It's a really good movie. I need to go back and watch it again.
Yeah. I would give this show probably also a 9 too.
Yeah.
I think Matt Reeves has done a great job executive producing this. And so basically all it is, if you haven't seen any of the original Batman movies and stuff like that, you should know that the Penguin is a bad guy. He is probably like top 5, definitely top 10 baddest bads for Batman.
He's a mobster. He does not give a fuck. I was even surprised when in the Batman Cape Crusader when there was the female Penguin.
Yeah.
And she was just killing motherfuckers.
Yes, no.
And that's who Oz is. The only thing that's weird is they changed it from Oswald Cobblepot to Oz Cobb.
Yeah.
And it just feels like such a weird.
No, his first name's still Oswald.
Yes.
Oswald.
But it's still Cobb. Like they just like cut out. They're like, that's too much. That's too much. Come on, Sophia Falcone.
Yeah. But it is you start off with right after the scene that happens at the very end of the Batman, where okay, the town has kind of been destroyed by the Riddler. What's next? What's the next move? And so the Penguin is he's a guy that's like, I want to be successful. Mm-hmm. I want to be the lead, and I'll do whatever it takes, screw anybody over, do whatever I need to do to get to that position at the top. And I actually do love the scenes with his mom. Mm-hmm. Again, I do agree with you. They could be a little bit shorter, but his mom is like, you start to figure out his mom is the one that's like, driving this into
she's the heart. Every good, and that's the thing, every good television show or good story, there has to be that human heart element to it for us to relate to, for us to understand it. It's almost like not a litmus test, but it's just like a grounding in where the morality of this universe is. And even so far as like with what you were talking about,
and that's what Vic is.
Yeah.
And
that's why they love each other.
Yeah, and so what happens is somebody dies at the very beginning. And not Colin Farrell, but the Penguin, he picks up this young guy named Vic, who has a stuttering problem, and he's like, I see something in you, because the Penguin, born with a messed up foot, and like, so that's why he wobbles, and that's why they call him the Penguin. I actually really love their dynamic, being that like mentor-mentee kind of thing. But I think Colin Farrell does a fantastic job. He will definitely get nominated for Actor of the Year, for a Golden Globe, and probably definitely considered for an Emmy next year. The real star is Sophia Falcone. She's like every scene. So, and again, little spoiler for the Batman if you haven't seen it. Falcone is a mobster, head of the gang. He dies. He dies in the Batman. Then it is a power dynamic because his brother's like, I'm going to start taking over. Even though his son's a drunk, does a lot of drugs and stuff like that.
What a fucking opening to that show. Like that opening scene, just the opening scene of the show, I was just like, all right, you got me.
Yes,
I'm hooked.
I'm hooked. But what happens is Sophia Falcone is the daughter, and she gets out of Arkham Asylum. And you find out all about like what she's been experiencing through, but she's called the Hangman because everybody thinks that she hung a bunch of people, a bunch of women, and they think she's crazy. Mm-hmm. And
she kind of is.
She kind of is.
But was she crazy before? That's the question that I don't think we'll ever know.
We ever know because you know what? She's fucking crazy now. And when I tell you, I've never been more like. From a first scene of like seeing a person on screen, when she comes up, and you see that look in her eye, you're just like, this bitch is crazy. I gotta go away.
It's just pure power and rage, and it's all held back. And that's the thing that craziness. It's like you can just see she is an angry fucking woman who has been wronged within an inch of her fucking life, and she is done with it. And it's just so nice to see women's wrongs on TV.
Again, one of my favorite tropes is a scorned woman getting her fucking revenge. That's one of my favorite tropes. I love. And so basically what the show is kind of like this power dynamic between the Penguin and Sophia, because Penguin used to work for Sophia, still is in the Falcone gang, so technically she has rank. And so you're trying to just navigate how does the Penguin, because again, knowing who the Penguin is and all the comics and stuff like that, especially if Batman 2 is confirmed started filming next year, I think. The Penguin has to get on top. It has to be, right? So, after watching all these episodes, it is just that dynamic between of like, how does the Penguin get there? What happens to the Falcone family? How does he take over? And so far, it's been a ride.
It's
been a ride.
I just like don't know how to even explain it because it like gets
it's Sopranos.
Well, and it's the Sopranos, but it really gets into like the underbelly of Gotham, and I know that sounds weird, but like
no,
just even with like Oz's girlfriend and her coworkers, and then you have like they're just, like trans sex workers, and then but she's not, but all of the other sex workers.
And then you have Vic, and then you also have like the other bosses like Sal,
and they talk about it a little bit when they talk about the Riddler from the first movie and how he like flooded the streets, and they're like, everything he said he did to make a statement against like the big like corporations and conglomerates of Gotham, and they're like, but all he did was hurt the little people. That's all this asshole did, and it gets into that shit, and that's what I fucking love because it does. It makes you understand because like half where Vic comes from, half that story is about that, and like how he got to where he was and how he is a victim of circumstance. And I think one of my favorite things is like, I don't know who to root for in this because
there's literally nobody to root for. Maybe like I root for Vic. I want Vic the best for Vic.
Yes, but I mean, there, and that's the thing is like there are at points.
You kind of root for Sophia though. Once you understand the backstory and stuff.
But that's the thing, to root for Sophia right now is to kind of root against Oz. But we don't know where that's going, and it hasn't always been true throughout the season because there were times where they were working together, and right now they're not. But who knows for the future?
Yeah, no, it's acting fantastic, cinematography fantastic. The pacing's been great to me.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been like, oh man, this is slow. This is a very slow episode or anything. Like There's a little bit of moment here of action and stuff like that, but it's just fantastic. Just
acting. These people are acting their fucking asses off.
And so I easily give this a 9. I think this is a fantastic show. If you have not watched it, you need to binge it. You need to binge it.
It's so good.
Like
and
you're not
again.
You're not going to stop at one episode. Like I'm just letting you know that right now.
Because I mean, but even with that, I do feel like, and I hate cliffhangers, like hard cliffhangers, and I feel like this one, each episode really does give you a full narrative story, and it gives you a little tease for the next one. But like, I never walk away from an episode feeling unsatisfied.
True.
And that's rare.
That's very rare.
Usually, like I said, I always have to watch a full season of a show in its context in order to enjoy it. I don't feel that with this. No,
so like right now, I'm giving it a 9, but like if the ending's perfect, because that's what separates.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm kind of talking about. Yeah.
The great from the, perfect.
But they've got to do a season 2 now. Or they got to go to a different thing or something.
No, I think this is supposed to be a limited series.
I know it's supposed to be a limited series, but so was Big Little Lies, and we got a second season out of that.
Did we need a second season?
Hell yeah, we did. Nicole Kidman gang rise up.
Oh my God, I'm tired of seeing her in the theaters.
Well, she's been on streaming recently, so
she has. She's been on quite a little run.
Yeah. I know. I just like invoked her name, but I was like, okay, girl, like we could, like, I don't know if there's a divorce coming up you got to pay for or something.
I think that's like something.
I was like, girl is working
because she was in that movie with Zac Efron.
Yes, and that was awful. And
that was a terrible movie.
She's got another one coming up where she's like dating a younger man. I think
she's just trying to fuck.
I mean,
good for her.
I mean, if it was my job and I was just like, I want to make out with Zac Efron next week, can we make that happen? And they do. Wow.
They spend millions of dollars.
Power. And hey, Netflix got a whole movie out of it. Joey King got another acting credit on that weird career. I saw this one thing is like, guys, I think we need to come to a realization. Is everything that Joey King acts in bad, or is it bad because Joey King's in it?
Both can be true.
Both can be true. That's the thing. Like, I don't. We're getting way off topic. Yeah. And by we, I mean me.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Because you know what? Batman's great. The Penguin's great. We're loving it. A little slower time in TV during this season because I feel like we're just rehashing some of the those same TV shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
the Penguin is a delight. The next again, that's the thing. HBO Max will never let you down.
Yeah.
When we're just like, hey, Sunday we need something. We need something on Sunday. Dune comes up.
Oh,
that's the next.
bitch.
Like
I'm so excited.
Like I think the last episode is next week for the Penguin, and then Dune's the next week after.
Party.
So we're getting some good shit on.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, super happy. Definitely should watch it. Highly recommend.
And if you haven't watched The Batman, go watch The Batman because it's really fucking good.
Yeah, 3 hours. Take it or leave it.
Is
but
it 3 hours?
It is 3 hours.
Damn.
No, it is 3 hours.
It doesn't feel like 3 hours if that helps.
Because I asked my wife, I was like, hey, do you want to rewatch this? And she was like, I barely remember it, but fuck no, I'm not trying to watch a 3 hour movie. And
she also was not the biggest fan of that movie, from what I remember.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic. I don't know how you're not. But anyway, that's it for our show. Again, guys, please like, subscribe, especially if you got to the end of this this episode. Please like and subscribe. Follow us wherever you're getting your podcasts, or like us on YouTube and subscribe there. But that's gonna be it. I'm Jordan,
and I'm Joe,
and this is Double Trouble Features.